Welcome to East Coast LQ Today, we're going to be doing another examination. We've been just kind of going through a lot of readily available bourbons. Like to thank the panel members that are here with me today. We got Bumpy Road Brews. Cheers to Bumpy.
Cheers.
Dan from FLX Beer Reviews. Cheers
Not
to
Mike.
Dan. Not Mike. Dan and not Mike. So like I said, we're kind of going through a lot of readily available bourbons that you can pretty much get almost off every shelf. Of course, we're going to have to steer into some other things that are a little bit harder to find. But yeah, today we have Maker's Mark Bourbon. Does everybody want to showcase their bottle? So mine is not open. I just picked mine up today.
Mine's very much open.
So me and Dan
Mine's not open. It's very small.
Bumpy has the pint, which actually price I paid $29 for this. So what did you guys pay?
$15.
I think it was right around
Really good price for
like 30, I think.
30. Yeah, that's
This is the liter bottle.
Oh wow, that's a good deal then.
Yeah,
It's both. I think got better deals. Bumpy said he's seen the 750 for like 26. I think
It was $26.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I always seem to be buying the liter bottles, not thinking of the 750, but I'm there.
We all
Cheers.
have different size bottles now.
Buy once again.
Right.
Cheers, Bill. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in, hanging out. All right. So if you've watched other examinations, you would know that we go by a 6 category scoring system. So we're going to try to be a little bit more organized. We've done this a few times, and we're going to try to do it based off of what makes a little bit more sense. So we're going to be starting off with aesthetics. That is categorized at 10 points. 10 out of 10 points. Then we're going to be moving on to nose, which goes for 20 points. Flavor, 20 points. Finish, 20 points. Mouthfeel, 20 points. And then last but not least, value at 10 points. Rounding out all to 100 points. So, we're going to be cracking these open and going over the aesthetics and talking about the appearance of the bourbon itself and the actual bottle packaging of the product. So, cheers. Let's all crack open.
Cheers. Already
Right.
disappointed in a screw cap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so right off the bat, I got to say, I nailed 4 Roses to the wall for being a screw cap last episode. So I guess it wouldn't be fair for me not to do the same
Well,
thing.
it's a little
for Maker's Mark.
disappointing when you take the wax off and then you
Yeah.
unscrew
Right,
it.
it's wax.
You're hoping it's a cork.
I
Although
tell you, right out of the bottle, it smells like a fireball.
so everyone here has had Maker's Mark.
I had
Yes.
before. I have a review that is from
Yeah.
5 years ago on my channel.
All right. I mean,
listen,
for my aesthetics, like this bottle, it's classic, dude. Like
It's nice. It's nice. And a little fun fact, kind of a fun fact / sad fact. They have gotten rid of these style bottles. So like Maker's 46, Maker's Cash Strength. So they've pretty much gotten rid of this style bottle, and all of their products are going to be distributed in these little squat bottles. I personally like these over these, but
The squat bottle sounds funner, though.
it's still a nice bottle. It's still nice. It's unique. You know what when you see it on the shelf, you know instantly that's Maker's Mark.
I like the label, how it's got a nice texture to it.
Yeah,
It sort of reminds me of like an old map that somebody from like Pirates of the Caribbean would draw a map on, like that texture.
like this was Johnny. What's his name?
Johnny 5?
No, the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. Was it Johnny?
Jack Sparrow.
Johnny.
Yeah,
Yes. This was Jack Sparrow's bourbon.
He's a rum guy, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting.
That's true. Yes, pirates did drink rum.
Johnny Depp though is
Johnny Depp played the
plays Jack Sparrow. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not crazy.
All
right. Yeah.
I think this is one of the better presentations.
So we're going to be just going over it, writing them down to ourselves, and then after going over the numbers. Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah.
We'll kind of go through it, talk about it, write down, and then in the end, reveal. Right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to start. I'm going to put a number for aesthetics. Well, didn't really talk about the color of the whiskey much. Did you guys talk about it?
I haven't.
It's a light. It's a very light kind of amber to me.
Yeah,
almost got this kind of yellowish.
Oh, so we didn't really go over stats. This is 45% alcohol by volume or 90 proof. Does anybody know an age or a mash bill on this?
Well, it's wheat. It's a wheat one, right?
Yes, this is exactly. Yep, wheated mash bill.
Yeah, it's a wheated. We did not look that up ahead of times because we're not professional.
Wheated, yeah. We're
cool like that.
Unprepared. Wheated instead of rye, so they replaced the rye with wheat. Let's see. Oh, okay. I got a mash bill. 70% corn, 16% wheat, 14% malted barley. No age statement, 90 proof. MSRP is $30 as far as 2017. So they've been sticking to that right around that same price for a while now. It's actually owned by Beam Suntory, which is Jim Beam. Distilleries Maker's Mark, released ongoing. Of course, readily available. Yeah. Here's your stats. Color? I'd say it's got a good copper. Did you say copper?
Yeah, copper.
Splash that.
Starburst. Starburst. No, not Starburst. Starfire yellow.
It's got a caramel drizzle color to it.
Caramel drizzle.
Yeah, like you ever like,
it's more butterscotch, I think.
No, yeah.
Your better half ever go to like Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, get the Frappuccino and they drizzle.
Okay, I know you're
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't go to Starbucks, but yeah, the wife does.
Nice alcohol legs too, I will say. You guys want to go for the nose?
Yeah,
absolutely.
45% alcohol by volume, so it's 90 proof.
Yeah.
First thing I noticed, like out of the bottle when I first opened, I smelled it, and it smelled like a Fireball, like cinnamon candy.
I get a lot of cherry though.
I get a lot of Bernie.
Alcohol?
Bernie Sanders is all over my nostrils right now.
So yours is first pour. Mine is obviously got a little bit out of it.
Yeah, mine was straight neck pour.
I get cinnamon. I get almost like a stale.
I get the spice, yeah. But I get a good amount of like cherry. Cherry's very prominent.
It's like a musky, like kind of a musky nose a little bit.
Vanilla. Oh yeah, like a little bit of like a dusty oak. Like an older oak. Or like sawdust kind of, right?
Yeah.
So I get like the exact cinnamon I'm getting a stick of Big Red.
Yeah.
Gum.
Yeah, I can see it.
That's the Fireball, like is that? Yeah.
Like because with
huge cinnamon.
With the gum, you sort of get that sort of sweetness too.
Mm.
You're bringing in the gum tree from Brazil. I got you.
I get a lot of cinnamon spice and cherry in that, like I said, like sawdust, like a super dry oak. The sweetness isn't very prominent. It's kind of more like straightforward, kind of like tannin like aromas on the nose
Really?
so far.
Really? For me, it smells sweet.
I don't get a ton of sweetness. No, it's more like tannic.
So, okay, here's one for you. With all the spices and everything I'm getting if you took honey Teddy Grahams and mixed them with the cinnamon Teddy Grahams, and you grabbed a handful, and you know what I mean?
I wish I got honey grams with this, bro. Yours is opened. That's definitely one of those notes that you're picking up because the bottle has a little bit of oxygen to it. I know what you're talking about, though. And I've gotten that in a lot of whiskeys. Mine is more spice, cherry prominent. I think it's because it's like a neck pour. But I totally can see what you're talking about. You guys want to dive in, try it out?
Absolutely.
Cheers.
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 Well, the finish is actually like very clean.
Yeah, it's not as like in the nose. I smell more like there's a burn, like I said. It's more smooth on the palate. It doesn't leave my mouth on. It doesn't leave my mouth on fire. Yeah,
it's like cherry chocolate. It's like a chocolate covered cherry. With a
finish is soft.
Oak, yeah. Kind
of
like
soft wood oak.
Kind of like a chocolate, no, on the back end a little bit.
Yeah. All right, now Tanner, are you getting more of the sweetness now on the palate?
Oh, and the palate's way sweeter. That cherry's there. It's almost like maraschino cherry. Maraschino cherry, a little bit more cinnamon spice.
It's more really, like it's more like the cherry
kind of building.
It's if you get the cherry cordial.
Yeah.
For like Halloween time and Valentine's Day time, they're more popular. Most of the time, you find the ones that have that white stuff in them, the white creamy sugariness. Yeah. I prefer the ones that have like that syrup, that red syrup with the maraschino cherry. Yeah, it's kind of got that going for it a little bit.
It's like if you took a cherry and put it in a shot of Fireball.
Are you guys getting any like lighter fruits? Like maybe like a
lighter fluid?
Lighter fruits, like a pear kind of. Maybe pear. There's like a lighter fruit. I think it's kind of like a pear. You get a little bit in the background.
I can kind of smell like a pear. Definitely a yellow.
I'm talking about a palate.
Now I can actually pick it up in the nose.
So this is a lot of corn
if
too.
you inhale really slow.
This is 70 corn. So I do kind of get a little bit of that like corn cereal kind of sweetness to it. As far as 45% though, I'm not really too sure how I feel. I know I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I'm not really too sure how I feel about the mouthfeel. As far as the flavor, I think the flavor is good, but like right now, I'm really getting like kind of only a few notes. Like I'm not getting like a huge complexity.
I think.
Go ahead.
Somebody's got background noise.
It's me. It's my.
Oh.
And then I'll give you a prize.
Oh, okay. Oh.
What are you saying, Dan?
I'll tell you what. You guys continue for a moment.
Oh, you're good, bro.
I'll be right.
So I get like the oakiness. Definitely the cinnamon comes through. There is kind of like you said, kind of this corniness, but to me, it's like a corn bread. There's kind of a bread mix in there. Maybe a little bit of doughiness or something.
Kind of like the yeast.
Yeah, maybe.
It's probably the yeast. Now you had the makers, cash strength. Can you see similarities in flavor from the cash strength to this one?
I can't really remember the cast strength. I would say.
Yeah.
I think the cast strength was that hot Was that kind of a hotter one?
No, the one that you had. You had it. I haven't had the cast strength. You did. Remember?
Yeah, I guess. I can't really. Yeah, I don't really recall. I know that I've had.
Sure, you had it.
The regular Maker's Mark, and I've had the cast strength. I did like the cast strength more.
Yeah.
It may have had like a smoother kind of feel to it or something. Maybe more like kind of woodiness. Maybe a little bit less of the cinnamon. Like there was still like a cinnamon note, but maybe a little bit less. Maybe a little bit more like cookie, like a cinnamon.
You guys
cookie.
talk about flavor?
Yeah, we're still on flavor. I'm kind of. I like the flavor. I think it's very appealing. It's very inviting. A newbie whiskey drinker could enjoy it, but it's just as far as like if we were to interpret like complexity into it, I'm gonna probably have to knock some points there. But it has some solid flavor.
It doesn't burn my throat and
really
make my mouth feel like it's on fire.
I would say I really like how drinkable it is.
Yeah.
So for me, that's like the all-encompassing factor for me. A, it's soft.
My
B,
God.
it doesn't have that harshness. C, it's got a nice sweetness, and it's not too dry or oaky. Like
I do feel like
it's for me, someone brand new to bourbon. I was like, yeah, sign me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like this is the category where it shines.
Because so coming off of last episode, I don't mean to compare, but at the end of the day, we are comparing. But if I'm brand new to bourbon and I try 4 Roses, I'm like, whoa, versus this. As far as that, you know.
Continue on talking, but I gotta come up with an application that I can use as far as like a spreadsheet. Do you have the numbers of the other 3?
Yeah, I have the total average.
Oh, what? And just the notes?
Yeah, like I have our average final score. I don't have the actual numbers of how we broke it down.
Yeah. No, the average of us 3.
Oh yeah. I keep track.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, I feel like this one is going to be in between.
In between, I think it's going to be.
You guys want to talk
I can tell you, I think it's going to be for me higher than what I thought of the last one.
You guys want to talk about mouthfeel?
One exception.
No, we're on finish.
Oh
wait, are we doing mouthfeel before finish?
You guys said when I came back, you said you were still on flavor.
Yeah. So do we do mouthfeel before finish?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got it mixed up. I thought we were going to do finish then mouthfeel. That's fine. We can talk about mouthfeel.
Yeah, it's got a semi kind of smoothness to it. Not the smoothest like you were trying to pull the whole cask strength thing that I had of Maker's Mark out of me. And there were certain things I did like about the cask strength more than this one. And I think, and I did mention that I think it was a little bit smoother than this one, but it still has kind of like
oh, I'm sorry. I just got like an almond. Have you guys been getting a nuttiness with this? I know that's not mouthfeel, but I just got like an almond, kind of like an Almond Joy. Almond Joy. What Almond Joy? Does Almond Joy have the coconut? Minus the coconut.
See, I could see if you're saying like a pecan.
Well, I was getting like almond.
I could see it. I could see it as like those like if you get flavored ice and you get like that amaretto flavored ice or whatever, something like that. I could see.
Yeah.
Now, as far as mouthfeel, do you guys feel like it's a little bit thinner?
I don't. I feel like it's kind of dense.
It finishes kind of on the fuller side for me. And then the plus on it, like I said, is it doesn't burn my throat or anything, which is nice. It doesn't leave my mouth feeling it's on fire.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're
it's
right.
It's like coated with like
it almost coats.
No, it is very drinkable.
Yeah, it almost coats like a thinner cough syrup. If you had a cough syrup that was
Very-
thinner,
Yeah.
like how it coats the back of the throat and stuff.
But without tasting like cough syrup.
Correct.
Yeah, with the oak going down, I actually get kind of like it's like woodsy but nutty. You're right. I'm kind of getting a little bit of like what reminds me of like walnuts, like fresh cracked walnut, kind of going down with the oakiness. Right.
This is a weird analogy, but it does kind of coat your tongue like butter would coat your tongue after biting into like a piece of toast with butter on it. Like it just kind of
butter with honey.
Butter with honey?
You ever had honey toast?
You mean toast with honey?
Honey toast.
You said butter with honey.
Well, no, yeah. Well, no. What you do is you make toast, you butter the toast, and then you put honey on it. So you have a mixture of both the butter and honey.
You just take a stick of butter, Dan. You pour some honey on top of it.
Well, no, it's butter on toast with honey.
It's a butter aioli.
No, as you were saying, yeah. I'm not necessarily getting honey, but I don't know. It kind of like coated my tongue like you would get like if you took a bite of like a piece of toast with some butter on it. And I like the spice because it's more of like as you keep sipping it, it kind of turns into a
as a world keeps sipping.
Like the sweet cinnamon spice. You know the sweet cinnamon spice? Like sometimes you would put on toast and stuff. It's kind of like that.
Cinnamon spice. There's also
peppery cinnamon.
I can't name is cinnamon spice, sugar spice.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and
the Spice Girls.
No.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about the cinnamon.
No, I was talking about the Spice Girls.
Remember the cinnamon sugar little containers that you would get and put on toast?
Yeah, Nikki has one for Declan.
Wasn't there like a character on it or something?
So you're thinking of Ren and Stimpy, Cinnamon Toast Crunch Man?
No, that's not what I'm thinking of at all. I'm thinking about a product that was like cinnamon. It was cinnamon sugar, I think it was.
Yeah, I have it in the cupboard.
Cinnamon sugar honey bun.
I don't think it's that intense cinnamon though, but it's reminiscent of it.
See, I'm not a fan of that because it's just the lazy way out. Sprinkle some sugar, sprinkle some cinnamon, do the work if you want the treat. That's my philosophy.
No, what I'm saying, this is like sweet cinnamon, but it's not like intense sweet. Like
no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's the lazy man's way out.
Mm.
Make that shit yourself.
So you guys just did mouthfeel?
Yes. So
all right,
right on the rip on the finish. I don't know if you get it, but so that kind of sweet cinnamon aspect that we're getting to it, I get it right on the tip of my tongue. It just continues to marinate there. And
I wish there was more. I would, but the thing is that kind of really deters me from giving this a bigger score is the complexity. Going back to that complexity, the finish is just like sweet, a little hint of sweet cinnamon, some oak, like I said, like that dusty oak,
a little bit of fruit,
like that sawdust. There's not
See,
much
for
that
me,
comes through. It kind of dies off a little quick, and you're just left with like the sweet cinnamon. It seems like there could be more to it, you know.
See, for me, I mean, with the cheap whiskey, I'm pretty happy with the finish.
This isn't cheap though. This is $30. I mean, it's not cheap.
Yeah,
It's still a $30. Technically, it's still a $30 $7.50. So I mean, it's not super cheap. It's not like your Evan Williams or Jim Beam, you know, where it's $20 for a bottle. You're
right.
talking $10 more, a third of the price more. You would
but here's the thing:
get a little bit more finish out of it. A little bit
for
more
a weeded bourbon, I would say it's
much sweeter.
And me, I'm
what?
I'm a weeded guy.
Yeah.
And so in my journey into bourbon, I've learned that I enjoy the weeded a little bit more.
So have you had the Larceny?
Yep.
You like that?
I like Maker's better.
The Larceny, I believe, is Heaven Hill, Evan Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, because my first bottle I bought, I went off of Joe's Arcade. It was a recommendation.
Was the Larceny?
The Larceny.
I don't know, man. I wish I could give this higher marks.
Now, are you a weeded guy or no?
Oh yeah, I love weeded bourbon. Definitely. I have the Larceny Barrel Proof. I have like not all, but I have the 107. I've had the 12. I have an unopened bottle of the 12, but I've had the 12 before. The Special Reserve, even the Special Reserve, I really enjoy. It's just super marked up nowadays, and I'm not gonna spend $70 or $80 on a bottle that I used to pay $25 for, you know. But yeah, I do like my fair share of weeders. Whoa. I have a couple of the wood finish. Oh no, is it two? Yeah, I have two of the wood finishing series. So I have the 101 as well. So I have. Actually, no. I only have one wood finishing series. The FAE.
Oh, okay.
What's that? The 46 cash strength. Very good.
What's up with the 246? One is double oaked and one isn't.
What do you mean?
I saw one that said French oaked.
Oh, I think that's a new bottle. I don't know.
They're right side by side. There's a maroon label and a white label.
One might be cash strength.
And then
yeah, well, I think one is a 46 cash strength and one is a regular 46. But
I will say, going through this, I do
Yeah.
enjoy the cask of this.
The cash strength version of this?
Quite immensely, yeah.
You have that?
Yes.
Did Bumpy have it too?
No. Remember at the beginning, he's like, I wish I would have known I would have bought that. And I said it was your fault because you said you were
I thought he had it already.
Oh.
Well, I thought he drank one already, though.
Yeah, he probably drank it. He probably had it and drank it.
Oh, excuse me. You have your number written down for finish?
Yes.
All right, well, I'm gonna sit and think about this number for a couple seconds.
All right, yeah. So here's the thing. I'm very interested how this comes out because I will tell you, this is my daily drinker.
The one we're reviewing?
So Maker's Mark is the bottle I just have just to drink whiskey. If I, so I don't go through all my barrel proof stuff and all that. But just, and now I'm using the Four Roses as a mixer, but this is just, I drink this to drink it. It's an easy sipper.
I think I'm going to be behind you guys.
Like under what we think.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be the lowest on this one. I don't know. Maybe it's just my bottle. I had maybe, of course, this is a clean glass, and I've had some water.
Have we read the story on the side?
No. But I have had
Would you like to read it, Jesse?
I've had a couple different whiskeys before this one, but I had a couple glass. Well, not a glass. I had a bottle of water.
This is my first beverage of the evening.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, when I came and sat down.
Do you want to read the literature on the bottle there, Bobby?
Yeah. There's two different stories. One side, so I'll read the other one. Maker's Mark, America's handmade bourbon whiskey. All began when my grandfather, Bill Samuels Sr., a sixth-generation Kentucky distiller, didn't care for the whiskey his family made. So in 1953, he burned the family recipe, literally, and started over. His taste vision was a soft, rich, creamy, full-bodied, yet balanced bourbon whiskey. Meanwhile, my grandmother, Margie, was busy designing the bottle you're holding. In fact, it was her idea to hand dip every bottle in our signature red wax. To this day, making Maker's Mark in small quantities, a little at a time, is a family affair. Enjoy.
Why is your
Grandson of Gold and Margie.
why is Dan's lettering much different than mine? Oh, is that the leader? Oh, that's why.
Mine's much different than all of yours. It's
And then
tiny.
here's the story on the other side. Anytime you're in the neighborhood, stop by and visit us at our distillery near Loretto, Kentucky. This beautifully restored home of Maker's Mark is a designated Kentucky and National Historic Landmark. Fully matured. Alcohol, 45 by volume, 90 proof. Did we ever figure out the age on these?
No age statement.
Okay. Interestingly enough, they got their 12-year coming out.
They were 12,
This month.
12-year age.
Yeah, this month coming out.
All right, let's we'll talk about value. So how do you guys want to do this? We'll just talk about value, score it, and then we'll go down the line, and each of us.
Well, last time it was.
Well, I kind of want to do it where
aesthetics.
we talk about it, and then at the end, I pull each of you guys up. You give your numbers for each one,
Okay.
defend yourself, and then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the
So
value.
We'll talk about value. Yeah.
It was pretty good. I was looking for something that wasn't going to break the bank. I was really excited because I don't see a lot of bottles like this, little tiny bottles. Okay. So I was not excited when I read the text from Tanner saying, well, Dan has Maker's Mark. Do you have any of that? And I'm just like, I just finished like a 750 bottle of this like 2 weeks ago. So I kind of like to not do the same whiskeys. Like my craft beer, I like to switch around and do different new things.
I couldn't
So-
find Granddad local.
Didn't you have the cash strength, Bumpy? I don't think you had this one. You had the cash strength,
Yeah, I had the cast strength before.
not this one.
I had this one too.
Oh, okay. I thought.
I had the regular. Yeah, I bought the regular Maker's Mark just to drink because it was cheap, like $26 for 750. So I just grabbed. I was very happy though when I found this little tiny bottle because I was like, cool. I can still participate. I'm not spending much more than, like I was still able to buy another whiskey that I haven't had yet. That I guess I won't have until next week.
Open it.
And you got to leave the plastic on it. Can't open it. I'll look for some old Granddad this week or something cheap. $17.
That's what next Monday was supposed to be. Old Granddad.
Yeah, but instead, next Monday
Okay.
is going to be this.
All right.
See, it's got the
You can
plastic
open it.
full on.
You can open it.
There you go.
I just
No,
think
I
it'd be
don't
cool
want
if-
to. No, I'm just gonna.
me
I'm
to
gonna leave
experience
it.
something new that Tanner hasn't.
And
I've had
yeah,
all.
so $15 for this 375 milliliter. Not bad.
That was my
don't
first
have-
bottle as a Maker Mark right there.
Yeah,
that small one.
$15. So a 750 would have been $26. So
All right. So here are my key pointers for value. This is a very easygoing bourbon to the point where newbies could really enjoy it. It's priced very well. There are a variety of sizes, which is also nice. So like Bumpy said, if you don't want to buy a whole bottle, you can get yourself a nice little pint over there.
you can probably find this in Nips too.
This is also a very good bourbon to mix with a cocktail because there are really no offensive flavors to it. It's already very easy going as far as a sipper. And then if you just throw it in any cocktail, I'm sure it won't stand out and be punchy.
Yeah, this would taste much better than Jack Daniel's number 7 in a Coke.
Yeah, especially if you're putting in that realm, $25 to $30 bottle of bourbon realm. This would definitely be one of the more elite brands that if someone said, "Hey, I got $25 to $30 $25 to $30 and I want to buy a bottle of whiskey that is very diverse and I can take sips of it, I can make cocktails, doesn't break the bank. I'm not a super avid whiskey drinker, but I want something that tastes decent for the money." This would be one that I would recommend to people for sure. And it's also weeder, so it's a little bit different and unique compared to a lot of the other bourbons that are more readily available compared to like Jim Beam, Evan Williams, Four Roses, even Old Granddad, but those are all different. I would say as far as larceny, like Dan was saying, I would say that larceny is right around the same price, and I would probably go this over larceny, but I've never done a blind, so that's a possible examination in the future. But yeah, so whoever wants to go first, we're gonna go over some numbers. You don't have to defend yourself too much, but if you just kind of want to go over what you gave, your number for each category, and then what your total is, we'll move on to either one of you guys. Which one of you guys want to go first? Bumpy, Dan, who wants to go first?
When are we going to do the total? Because I haven't added everything up yet.
Well, I'm doing that.
Okay.
No, we're gonna go over our numbers.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna say my total.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah. All right.
Of your, who wants to go first? You?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
All right. For the aesthetics, I gave it a 6. I knocked points for the screw cap. Other than that, I think the bottle's great. The presentation with the wax, the label, it's just I enjoyed it all. And I do have last week's here, so I did give it a point higher than Four Roses. Nose, I gave it a 15. Yeah, I enjoy the nose, but like you said, it's not a lot of complexity. Just sweet cinnamon, a little little oak, little fruit aspect, but it's smells like a wheated bourbon. Although I haven't had too many of those. So, flavor, I gave that a 17. I really love the flavor. I think the flavor, while the flavor isn't that complex, I think it starts to open up. And once you got the bottle open, I can safely say that it definitely changed a little bit. And I started getting some more of those sweet pastry-esque, like Teddy Grahams kind of thing and all that. Yeah, I can't really knock the flavor. Like, sure, it can be more complex, but I feel like you get that out of the bigger barrel version of this, which I've obviously had. If you've not had it, I encourage you to do so. Mouthfeel, I gave it a 16. The mouthfeel is very full for the proof. Like out of 90 proof stuff that I've had, this is one of the better mouthfeels. It feels dense, feels kind of chewy on the back end, coats the mouth, kind of lingers around, which leads me into the finish. Finish, I gave a 13 to. A lot of the finish is courtesy from the mouthfeel. As far as the flavors of the finish, I really sit there. It's almost like I've been sucking on a fireball. And that residual just kind of spice that just sits on the tip of your tongue after doing it for a while, you kind of get. Again, doesn't finish overtly complex. Finishes smooth, subtle, soft. Value.
Should we go over our scores together?
I mean, I'm almost at the finish line now.
I know you're at the finish line. Do you think we should go over them together? Because I know this is kind of like a, it's a show in the making, kind of working on it.
I mean, we can, but I feel like if everyone's shouting out
you've touched multiple points that I probably am going to bring up, and I might be repeating myself. There's scores that me and you are similar on, but there's also scores that me and you are very different on. So do you think if we all just kind of throw out our numbers, discuss?
Well, if we did like one, let's go after the nose, let's go after the flavor.
So Dan says aesthetics is this, Bumpy says aesthetics is this, I say aesthetics is this, and then everybody tries to prove it or bring us up or down. Do you think that would work?
We can, but it has to be in turn. We can't just be talking over each other trying to get out.
Oh, I know. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I'm just kind of working through it. I know this is still only like the third or fourth show.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can finish going over what you wanted to say. What were you on, value?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say value for me is a 7.
Okay.
I had it at a 6, but then Tanner gave the speech of the year, and I bumped it up to a 7 as far as his points on value. And I agreed with a lot of them. I mean, I don't know if it's a store where I'm at, local place, but this liter was pretty cheap.
$30. Yeah, that's a good price.
So with everything for me added up, I got a 74 out of 100.
Nice. That's pretty good. I'm actually sitting a lot higher than I thought I was going to be. Bumpy, do you want to kind of go over ours at the same time?
Yeah, back and forth. Yeah, let's so we're going to tackle what first? Nose first?
Aesthetics
first?
Yeah.
I mean, I dinged it just because it didn't have a nice cork. It didn't have a nice wood top underneath this beautiful wax job. I do like the fancy kind of cut label. I do like how it kind of looks like. It kind of looks like it's a
scissors.
It's kind of homey, like old country store, like almost like a coffee stain type deal, but it's not. It's like one of those things that you put on around your hot coffee, actually, at like a Starbucks. You know those little things that they, keep your hands from burning. There's plenty of really nice. What's that called? Not marquees. Font. Plenty of nice like font. If you look closely, it's got like little missing ditches here and there. Kind of makes it look like old spaghetti western.
Did they not used to have like a wax stamp?
It's got the stamp there.
I think they used to have an actual wax stamp on
wax stamp, yeah.
They used to.
Yeah.
Now it's just this engraved?
Embossed.
Right? Embossed, yeah.
Yeah.
They used to put a wax stamp on the front of it, I believe. I could be wrong.
It's got plenty of information on it. They even changed the font. They have some so what number did you give it? Cursive and stuff. So for the aesthetics, I gave it because I minused because of the screw cap a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I gave mine a 7 as well. And mine wasn't necessarily knocking it. Mine was more so, 5's average. There are a lot of bottles in this $25, $30, $35 range. They look very similar. They don't necessarily stand out. I gave the aesthetics on this one a 7 because there is like a uniqueness behind it. If let's say you're standing, maybe even like 10 feet away.
I do like the bottle shape. I like the bottle shape of this, and I like the Jack Daniels, the one that looks like a diamond. I think it looks very nice on a shelf.
I think this is one of those bottles too where it was. So if you're standing 10 feet away from this, you're gonna notice it on the shelf. You're gonna know that's Maker's Mark. And I believe this was one of the bottles where people were saying that the bottle design is almost meant to sit alongside other bottles and just kind of fill a gap. So the way the bottle shape is, if it's sitting on the shelf, it like sits very nicely between whatever's on the side of it based off of the shape of it. I believe this was one of them. But yeah, overall, like I said, I gave it a 7. I kind of wanted to give it a little bit higher. I wanted to give it like an 8, but yeah, I don't like the screw cap. It's a little deceiving. You peel the wax off, and then you're like, what the heck?
Broke my heart the first time I bought it.
You expect it, yeah, you expect it to be a nice cork. What did you give it for nose?
For the nose, now it wasn't like I kind of like some of the sweeter notes, but there was kind of a lot going on. You kind of go back and pick out different things. It did have a little burn on it. Cinnamon fireball, whatever, right off the get-go, and that kind of stayed true. But you could definitely pick up other notes as I continue to smell it. I gave it a 17 out of 20 for the nose.
Wow, you gave it pretty high.
Yeah,
I gave mine a 12.
I gave mine.
It wasn't offensive to me, so like it was different.
I don't know. I'm like, even my nose is stuffed. I'm not getting much off of it. I'm getting like some maraschino cherry sweetness, bacon spice, a little bit of oak, maybe a slight hint of chocolate, but I'm not getting much off of it.
You get a little bit of that.
Really,
I can see that little bit of pear, the little bit of pear that you said. I can get that on the nose.
I was getting pear on the palate though.
Yeah, but I can't get it on the palate. I could pick it up on the nose.
Yeah, the nose wasn't very exciting for me. The nose was very middle of the road. But there was no like intense alcohol burn. So of course, out of 20, I would say middle of the road would be like 10. So I gave it a 12 for the nose. Yeah, overall, I wasn't very blown away by the nose. I was a little disappointed.
What'd you guys get for flavor?
14.
I gave it 14 as well.
Flavor is pretty solid.
See, I was way higher than you guys.
I was getting like,
yeah,
I was getting like 4, maybe 5 notes out of the flavor. But I was just kind of looking for something else. I was just kind of looking for like a little bit more of a uniqueness. I was looking for some other stuff to stand out, and I was just kind of getting the more dominant flavor notes throughout. It was just kind of very good. They were good flavors, which is why I was 4 points above average, but they weren't like super unique or something that, especially like nowadays where I've had a chance to try some other more expensive stuff, a little bit more craft stuff. There are certain flavor profiles that I'm kind of looking for, and this was very straightforward as far as.
Yeah, I'm just not much of a cinnamon lover when it comes to like whiskey. It's okay, but this is pretty dominant on the cinnamon. That was my biggest factor. But I mean, I was getting that kind of like walnut flavor at the finish, the kind of doughiness out of it. Kind of that dusty and wood-like note from the barrel. So it had plenty going on that I did like. Biggest stinger was just the heavily topped cinnamon note. I mean, I like cinnamons, don't get me wrong, but I know when it comes to whiskey, I do kind of like them to be a little bit. I don't know. Like I like it when I can get like a chocolate or a citrusy note out of it. Less cinnamon for sure. I do like barrel presence and things like that as well. So I don't know. I'm like not a sweets type person really, but I do like some of that to kind of shine through in liquid form, I guess.
Fair.
Mouthfeel?
Mouthfeel, I gave it a 16.
I gave it a 16 as well.
I gave it a 16 as well.
Yeah.
Clean sweep.
You guys, one of you made some good points about the mouthfeel. Yeah. I kept saying drinkability, but then you guys were also saying like just the way it coats your palate. And then like I was saying, I was getting on top of that, like kind of buttery, like you took a bite of toast and you just had that lingering butter like
Yeah.
palate.
I was saying syrupy. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think oily would be a little bit better.
It does kind of like coat your mouth, like because I over oiled some stuff that I've had like when I cooked it
A
on
little
my
bit of spice too.
grill.
Yeah.
It does kind of have that fatty oiliness to it. Yeah.
All right. Finish.
14.
I was at a 15 out of 20.
I'm the low man. I got 10.
Let's see that.
Where were you at, Tanner?
I was picking up a little bit on that chocolate note though on the finish. I think that's why I gave it a little bit higher. I was getting 14.
What was your score, Tanner? I didn't hear.
14.
14. So I was the highest.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I liked on the finish. That's where I was getting that kind of walnut wood.
I think for me, the mouth feels so great for me that the finish is a bit of a letdown, if that makes sense.
It didn't leave my mouth on fire. I also like that. There's some
Yeah.
whiskeys where after I drink them, it's just like my tongue feels like it's about to split in half.
But for me, that finish was like
There's a lot of
three notes, and that was it.
So,
Yeah.
would you also say that drinkability kind of affects mouthfeel and finish? Like drinkability?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I feel like we might have to put some other categories in this.
I feel like we need to refine the ones we got, brother.
That's what I'm saying. Because drinkability is definitely a fair factor into this. But that would all, like I said, it would also be drinkability would also.
I think
be
if you
finish and mouthfeel.
I think it honestly, your drinkability would be your flavor, mouthfeel, and finish. Add them up, and that's your drinkability
All together.
Yeah.
Now this is a crusher.
Oh, all day.
This is a whiskey that you don't need no ice.
All right, value.
Huh?
The value. What's the
Solid.
of that?
We're on value. You want me to throw mine out?
Yeah.
8 out of 10. I think it's very good value. Super readily available.
I was at 9 out of 10.
If you recommended this to your
That
friend,
pint did it, huh?
they could go anywhere and buy this.
I'm telling you, my first time wanting to try Maker's Mark, I saw that pint and I'm like, fuck yeah.
If you had a friend that was like, hey man, I want to try some wheat whiskey. Hey, you know where you're gonna go? Wherever you can go to Walmart and probably find this in certain states. Grab yourself some Makers.
Well, I feel like that the size availability is great too, because if you don't know what you're walking into, you want the small one. That was my case. I didn't know what I was walking into. Give me the smallest one you got. Let me try it.
Yeah.
Like, I wish more bourbons were available like that.
Says the guy with the leader.
Well, I tried the small one. I liked it. So I said, give me the biggest size.
Yeah, because when you buy an econo size, you save money. Buy in bulk, yeah.
Very true.
Now, I will say,
you drink more.
I feel like this. I feel like this whiskey shined in the mouthfeel. That's my highest score.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys want to throw out your overalls?
Yeah.
Yep. Hold on.
Throw it out overalls.
Overall score.
I love my Oshkosh Bagage.
Not your overalls after
All right,
you.
mine is 74.
74, not bad.
I was at 78.
71. I told you I was going to be a little bit lower.
Okay, and that means our average
Who was
is
74, Dan?
what's that?
You were 74?
Yeah. Our average is 74.3.
So 74, round down.
Yep. Okay, so if you want to recap, hold on.
It's not bad. 74 is not bad.
All right,
Well,
do you
then
want to recap of
yeah.
last episode?
Should we start giving medals? I feel like we should
Sure,
just
after we figure out the show.
Maybe after a full season.
after a full season we'll start this.
Yeah, after a full season, then we should pick out the winners, and we should all drink the top 3 winners in the same show.
How many in a season?
So we should come up with a bronze, silver, gold,
10
and
episodes. 10 episodes. a season.
Okay, 10 episodes. All right,
what's better than gold?
platinum.
That's better than gold.
Yeah.
Platinum.
So bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. What would you feel? What would you feel a bronze would be?
Less than
Gold,
the silver.
gold would be 90 to 95, or like, right?
Oh, if you just want to run off that, then
95 to 100 would be platinum.
62
All right,
to 70 would be.
All right, so far this season, for those counting, who have watched all 10 hours of our show, 4 episodes in, Wild Turkey got a 79. Russell's 10 got an 81.
Wild Turkey, what? 101?
No, we just did. Yeah, Wild Turkey 101. Yeah.
You gotta specify.
Yeah, sorry. Wild Turkey 101, 79. Was that 101? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
going to write that in there. I didn't write that in there to begin with. Russell's 10 got an 81. Four Roses got a 61. And Maker's Mark has a 74.
Wait, so can you do it from best to worst?
The best was Russell's, then Wild Turkey 101, then Maker's Mark, then Four Roses.
That's fair.
However, we fucked up.
Sounds like we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but we fucked up.
Where?
Because we've been getting cheap whiskeys. We shouldn't factor in the Russells to that. Because we did a battle video, but how can you factor in a 10-year-old Russell's 10?
Because it's $40.
Not readily available.
Depends where you go.
Okay. We'll count them all. We'll count them all. But
Yeah.
we should have a by season. There should be at least some sort of theme or something. It's not fair to compare a Four Roses to a fucking.
Well, I mean, it is though. It is.
Well, yeah, because sometimes the score can be based off the value. So, like when we do end up doing the old granddad, and it's like $17 for a liter, and you're like, hey, this isn't half bad, maybe, you know. Wow, the value could be like.
Yeah. I don't think it'd be fair to
I see what you're saying. But
challenge a Four Roses versus a Jack Daniel's single barrel cask strength.
If you were basing it off a like competition like scoring system, I mean, it's fair that you would try to compare something you would pay $60 compared to $20 versus, you know, it's like.
We could try to do something like that though, where we do like all like small batch.
Just because something's $60 doesn't mean that something that's $30 can't knock it out of the park. You know, I mean,
yeah,
there could be something that's $70, $80, and you drink something that's $40, and you're like, dude, this $40.
I don't think it'd be fair to compare Antique 107 to Four Roses. I'm just.
Yeah, I mean, you could though. It's, you know, it's funny. There's probably somebody out there that has done that comparison and compares Four Roses over.
I'm sure there is, but
you know,
we said we're doing cheap whiskeys.
Well, for now, yeah.
For the season,
but 74 out of 100 for what we got is a pretty good score, I will say. I think that's solid. I would like to start to interpret my own reviews, kind of like single reviews. I think that's what's cool about the examinations is like we do this, we give it like an actual scoring system, and then you get multiple people's point of views. Whereas like if I'm just doing a review, I kind of just put my knowledge together of all the stuff that I've had, and then I try to give it a score based off of all these aspects. without actually putting a number to it. But I really do like the number aspect because it makes you think, like, what's average, what's unique, what's worth it, and what really stands out. So the examination's been really fun. You guys got any shout outs you want to throw out there really quick? We're at that hour mark. I think this examination went really well. This bottle definitely isn't going to go to waste. Dan, Bumpy, you guys got any shout outs you guys want to do for your channel or anything else?
Shout out to my friend and yours, Sierra Hotel. You can't watch him anywhere, but he's a good goddamn man. If you know, you know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No. I'd like to shout out Bourbon Junkies. And I know they're like big YouTubers and stuff, but I like how they're funny but informative, and you know, they've done a lot of bourbons, and I've used a lot of their videos to familiarize myself with kind of what I'm looking for, what I'm getting into, what I might like. So, yeah.
Nice. Cheers, bro. What you got for us, Bobby?
Well, I should really start looking up people to shout out. I do have somebody I'd like to shout out, but I don't know their channel name because whatever. But I'll find it. Anyways, Blackstone. They actually are like Blackstone has like a bunch of like kind of ambassador type people working, you know, that they do YouTube videos and stuff. But there was one guy that I've watched a few of his videos, and I can't think of his channel, but I will find out what his channel name is and stuff like that. It's just a few videos have really helped me out as far as, you know, cleaning the Blackstone, because sometimes you think it's going to be tedious. It's really not. It's super easy. There's just certain things that helpful hints in short videos and stuff like that. So I'll do a better job next time in life. Other than that, on my own channel, I'm just trying to throw out a video here and there. 50-point inspections, at least once a week. So hopefully I'll put out something this week. And yeah, maybe 2 if you guys are all lucky.
Nice.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Cool. So I do have a couple different things that I need to do. I got a couple live streams that I got to get through. Me and Eric are supposed to be doing a Russell's 10 and a Eagle Rare review. I know you, Bumpy, do you have Eagles Rare, Russell's 10 anymore? You drank it? Do you have the Eagle Rare?
I definitely don't have any Russell's 10.
But you have the Eagle Rare that I
got
left you,
some
right?
of the Four Roses left because you guys told me not to drink it.
Yeah.
So
do you have the Eagle
back there? I
Eagle
have
Rare,
like
right?
maybe two pours of the Four Roses.
And then the Eagle Rare I left you.
Since you left me last week, this is how much is left, Tanner.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's sad.
You enjoyed that, huh?
There goes my vial.
I mean, it was all the whiskey I could drink, so I've been drinking.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. That's fine.
And the problem with this bottle, it doesn't fit in my shelf.
Yeah. That's a store pick. What did you think about that, Bumpy?
Not as good as the Maker's Mark.
Well, that's a different mash bill. That's a
it's quite burny. That's one of those
Also-
ones that sets my mouth on fire.
I thought that was pretty good. That one I
I mean, it's good
enjoyed.
enough. It's good enough that I've been drinking it.
That was cool bringing that over and sharing that with you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's gotten me
Yeah.
through the week, Tanner. Thank you.
No problem, man. Just recorded a RAR Waka Waka Pie, banana cream pie RAR, my first RAR. So look out for that review. That was a lot of fun. I do have another one, so look forward to that. Bunch of different beer reviews from New Hampshire. Went and grabbed I think I grabbed like 12 beers from the packy when I went and visited Bumpy. So just look out for those. I do have a Starlight Double Oaked that I do need to do a review on. I've had it. I've just been kind of sipping on it. So yeah, look out for a review on that. And hopefully, you know, we can continue to do these examinations. I think there's talk about us doing the 1792. So hopefully we'll be able to do that next week. So look forward to the 1792 small batch, which is pretty much like the 1792 entry level bourbon. So hopefully we can do that next Monday. That'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, variety reviews, rum, tequila. Trying to dabble in all of it. Really enjoying doing it as well. And definitely shout out to Curiosity Public, considering those guys have been kind of giving me some great suggestions for some certain tequilas and rums. Good amount of the tequilas and rums that I've reviewed lately were their suggestion. And I've actually been getting some good input. A couple of the tequilas that I've reviewed. A lot of people are enjoying and checking out my videos. So yeah, definitely shout out to them. And KY Brew Review, another variety reviewer. They do a lot of beer reviews. Group of friends from Kentucky. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Overall, if you didn't hear it and you're just tuning in, we were at a 74 out of 100 for the Maker's Mark Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. And yeah, down the line,
That was our overall average.
That was our overall average. I was at a 71 out of 100. Dan was at a 74. And Bumpy was at a 78. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Cheers to everybody in the chat. Tommy Carroll, Beer Hounds, Tater Dom, thank you guys for stopping by. And if there's anything else you guys like to see on my channel, make sure to leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my upcoming videos. Like beer. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.